My name is Meredith Berkman. I'm a co-founder of Parents Against Vaping E-Cigarettes.
When you see Meredith Berkman and Dorian Furman speak in public,
and I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Parents Against Vaping E-Cigarettes, or PAVE.
It's hard to believe that activism does not come naturally to them.
And the saddest calls of all come from parents who are desperate.
Please pass this bill and protect New York City kids from these addictive flavored e-cigarettes.
These moms from New York were inspired to fight back against the teen vaping craze only after their sons were swept up in it.
He had lots of stuff in his pockets, so I said, oh, Philip, what's in your pockets? And so I stuck my hand in his pockets and came out with these flash drives. And I took a closer look and I realized they were just a little too long. And so I Googled the name Juul, which I saw on the side, and I figured out what it was.
Never heard of Juul?
Never heard of it.
We met because our boy started last year in 9th grade. And
when Meredith found her own son vaping, the women banded together. They soon found themselves lobbying politicians from coast to coast.
Second floor, right?
the quickest way to slow the epidemic and to keep younger kids from starting would be to take the flavors off the market.
They even pound the pavement.
All right, let's go and look.
Trying to find out what's selling on the street.
You mean they're fake from China?
Yeah.
But they're in the Juul package?
The counterfeit. It's the counterfeit ones, the ones that were in the post.
Well, how can you tell?
Dorian's son is 16-year-old Philip Furman, who we met earlier. He wrestled with the nicotine addiction starting in middle school and recently quit. Now, like his mother, Philip is fighting back, here sharing his struggles before New York City Council.
The thing that enticed me the most about Juul was the mint and the high-tech device. It was like gum, and who doesn't like gum?
In a way, and this will sound extreme, I feel like some of the money Juul has made off children is considered blood money to me. That's out.
Meredith Berkman's son, Caleb, was just a casual vapor, but he's angry at the e-cigarette industry. He, Philip, and their friend Luke told me vaping is rampant in their schools.
I feel like they are literally exploiting kids, and I am not pleased with Big Tobacco 2.0 infiltrating my friend group in particular.
Where are they getting these?
They're buying them from the vape stores. All right?
Walking right in?
You're walking right in.
George Davison is fighting back too. He runs the Grace Church School in New York, and like so many educators across the country, he's at the red-hot center of the vaping crisis.
And it went from 0 to a huge portion of the kids in a very, very short period of time.
Davison's turned to a high-tech solution, vape detectors. Installed in bathrooms and locker rooms, they can pick out the signature odor of e-cigarettes. What happens to me if I'm caught?
The first time you're caught, you're suspended from school. But a second time is potentially an expulsion.
Really? 2 times?
Yeah. We want them to know that this is a very serious health problem.
Not everyone agrees that fighting back so hard makes sense.
Have you thought about that and how it might work?
Some experts, like New York University's David Abrams, see a giant upside to e-cigarettes. He says if each year just 1 in 10 cigarette smokers turns to vaping, over the course of 10 years, the results would be remarkable.
We would save about 6 or more million American lives if they all switched to e-cigarettes based on those harm numbers.
It sounds like you're willing to tolerate some increase in teen use of e-cigarettes for the benefit of getting them to legitimate smokers trying to quit.
I think that's in general true, yes. But I would qualify it by saying they may well be the same teens who would otherwise be using a cigarette, and now at least they're not using a lethal, deadly, toxic cigarette.
Would you call e-cigarettes a kind of holy grail that's managed to come along in your lifetime?
I believe if we fully embraced harm reduction, we could make cigarettes obsolete within 10 or 15 years.
You don't mean that? Around the world?
Yes, around the world.
Berkman isn't convinced. For her and the mothers of PAVE, the certain threat of teen addiction far outweighs the potential promise of e-cigarettes.
We're talking about maybe that could be something helpful to adults. Definitely something that's harming kids. How could we know that and not do something about it? What adult, especially a parent, doesn't want to protect a child?
Voices like Berkman's are being heard. In June, San Francisco, corporate home to Juul Labs, became the first major U.S. city to ban e-cigarette sales.